Hello, this is Thomas of iCollect. Now today we meet one of the very few puppet makers in Singapore. Now contrary to what you might think, puppetry is still very much alive here. Let's go meet the puppet master.
Well, hello and welcome to the program. My name is Melody and this is I Create.
No, this is iCollect.
No, I Create. I Collect. No, I'm confused.
Hello, this is Frankie Malachi and welcome to the program I Create Puppets. Hey Frankie, share with us your journey as a puppet maker. Well, I started when I was young, watching Jim Henson, Muppet Show, Sesame Street, and I was like, oh, I want to be a puppeteer as well. And then I started experimenting with materials, started making puppets, and I found out that, hey, it actually worked. And our first, show that we did, it was a success.
Oh, are we on? Oh, Frankie, what kind of special joy does puppetry bring you?
Okay, the joy that puppetry sparks for me is that I discovered that puppetry can be used in so many areas. We've used it in education, where we teach children, about a lot of different things like how to show kindness. And the show brings so much joy, to the kids. And then, of course, we've used it in bands, we've used it in theaters, we've used it, for saving extinct animals as well. We have created a surrogate parent for a near extinct species of bird. And from there, knowing that you are saving animals from extinction, that's the kind of joy you receive. Well, Frankie, I heard that you collect puppets as well. Well, how many do you have in the collection? And which one is the most valuable? Me, right? Well, I think I have about 30 over ventriloquist dolls that I've collected. And sorry, Paul, you are not the most expensive or valuable one. Damn! Well, the most expensive and valuable one is Sally over here.
Oh, thank you.
Well, because, she is very rare to come by and I have to wait a very long time before I am able to get her.
Well, what are some of the craziest types of puppets you have created?
The craziest puppet that I've ever created is, of course, Audrey 2. Alright, this is from the Little Shop of Horrors.
And which is the most memorable creation? Please say it's more.
My most memorable puppet is, of course, Bruno. What will I do without Bruno? Alright, he's the very first puppet I made that is about more than 20 years ago. But this is not the original version. And this is version 2, alright? But he's as good or even better than the first one. Alright, so this is Bruno! Okay, give him a big round of applause. So, Bruno is a juggler, alright? And he's juggling the balls. Okay, now, Bruno is gonna do something very, very difficult, right, Bruno? Alright, he's gonna put the ball at the tip of his nose. And 1, 2, and hop! Alright, big round of applause. Okay, hold the applause. He's gonna balance the ball on the tip of his nose on one foot. Okay, well done, Bruno, well done. Not impressed? Well, maybe something even more difficult, right? He's gonna balance the ball at the tip of his toes and at the tip of his nose all at the same time to thunderous applause. And here we go. Ta-da! Alright, and he's gonna do a big split just for you. Okay, big bow, Bruno. Thank you very much.
Well, show us how you make a puppet, Mr. Maker.
Okay, let me bring you through the process of how I create a puppet. So basically, I have a picture, I get the idea of what I want to do, and then now I'm making a dog, right? So I have the anatomy of the dog sketched out, and then I will create and see where the joints needs to bend. And from there, from the 2D, I will make into a 3D by cutting up the wood. After I made the paper pattern, I will trace it on a piece of wood and then I will create all the different joints and see if it works. And as you can see here, it's beginning to look like a dog. Alright, once the skin is on, the mechanism is fitted in and the dog is stringed up. Alright, so a dog has to do what a dog has to do, alright? And the most important part is, of course, the tail wagging because it speaks a lot of the emotion of the dog. He's able to thumb the tail and he's able to wag the tail. And of course, a dog will always be able to stick out his tongue like this. For her, she's got a special string attached so that she can cover her eyes and go boo. Okay.
Now, which puppet is the most well received by the audience during a puppet show?
One of the audience favorite puppet is Jimmy over here. So what's so special about him is that he is able to put the balloon in his mouth and he's able to blow up the balloon. Do you think that's big enough, Jimmy? No? You want it bigger? Okay, here we go. Do you think that's big enough? No? You want it bigger? Nah, I think that's big enough for Jimmy. And he floats away with the balloon because that is his dream, is that he will be able to fly. And then later on, the balloon will burst and then he starts to cry. Alright? And that really touches the audience because many of them identify with him where their bubble got burst, alright? Sometimes I can see the audience wiping their eyes, alright? But it all has got a happy ending. You gotta watch the show.
Hey Frankie, can you share a most unique and memorable experience you had at a puppet show?
There are many wonderful experiences doing shows, and one of the memorable ones is when we did a show for this company. And initially they were supposed to be, children that is from the primary school or preschool age. However, on that particular afternoon, the secondary school turned up. We did what we could, we did our best as usual. And we were wondering, does that work for the secondary school children? 1 week later, this company that engages us called us and says, hey, do you remember the show you did for secondary school kids? Actually, on that day, one of the boys wanted to commit suicide. After watching the show, he laughed so much that the light went on in his head, and that saved the day. So I think, puppetry can be a wonderful tool that is very much underutilized. So if you have time, take up puppetry.
We hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Do show us your like, share the video, and subscribe. Now, if you would like us to feature you or to collaborate, please get in touch via this email address. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.